right. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for coming to the Tech Ready Women Female Founders Startup Program webinar and Q&A. Like I just mentioned, I will give a quick overview of the program and then I'll shut down my screen and we can just chat through any questions that you have. I will try and keep an eye on the chat while we're going through the questions as well. So to start off, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country in which I am broadcasting from today, and that is the Biripi people, and recognise their continuing connection to the land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and we extend our respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander guests in attendance today. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through the program benefits, what you'll get access to as part of the program, and some application tips, and then we'll just open up to the general Q&A. So I'm going to make my bit as quick as possible because I know you've all probably got some burning questions. Okay, so a little brief bit about me, and I wish I could see, let me see if I can see, I can see all of you now. All right, beautiful. A little quick bit about me. I'm the program lead at Tech Ready Women, and I have been in this role since the start of 2023. So I've ran two cohorts so far, and honestly, it's one of the best jobs I've ever done. I absolutely love hanging out with female founders, and my job here on earth is to help women succeed in business. So I'm living my best life. Outside of that, I am a startup mentor. I've been a founder and entrepreneurship educator. I will not ask you to do something that I would not do myself. And so I put myself in startups. So I get to do the messy, gritty work of customer interviews, of doing financial projections, of whatever it takes. I won't tell you to do something unless I've already done it or I would do it myself. So my expertise is really, I guess, taking strategic direction and making it happen. So go-to-market strategies. I love building customer journeys. I actually love company governance, which people think is a little bit weird. I'm a grant writer, so I've secured in excess of $5 million of successful grants, and I'm an inventor with an Australian innovation patent. I'm regionally based and I'm here in Port Macquarie. I travel to Sydney a bit for projects and also to Armidale where I run some projects as well. And I am a mum of 3 kids. Rory is grown up and she's moved to the Gold Coast. It's very sad when that happens to mums. I didn't realise. And so I've got 2 boys at home, Will and Hayden. So that's a little tiny bit about me, but you know, if you're part of the program, you'll get to know me a whole lot more. I'm the person who runs all of the weekly sessions. I do a lot of the mentoring, so you will see my face talking a lot. Okay, so a little bit about the program. I guess the reason the program exists is because I think as females, sometimes we face things differently and there's all these feelings. So feeling overwhelmed with all of the information out there, like you might have a great idea, but you're like, I don't even know where to start. And there seems like so many things. And you're like, should I be spending my time, money and energy in this area? Like, I think I need some more structure. It's also really easy to feel isolated, especially if you're in it alone. No one really understands what you do and what you're supposed to do next. I know my mum still doesn't know what I do, and sometimes I have conversations with my partner and he's like, what are you even talking about? So I think yeah, just knowing to have people to reach out, to bounce ideas off, people who get you, like a whole community of people who understand the journey, who have been through and tried and tested things before and know all the mistakes to make, which I've made a heap. I think there's also a lot about confidence. I know a lot of the participants I work with, it's like they know so much about their business, about their problem, about the solution they're creating. And it's just the confidence to get up and articulate it, the confidence to jump on a webinar, the confidence to say it out loud, I think is something that like is certainly close to my heart. I love working with people to give them the confidence to just be who they are in the world. So that's the best part about my job. So what the program does is it gives you tools around business model tools. The essential things. There's lots of stuff out there, but here's the path to success. Here's where you need to go to tick off these things, to find your customer, to find what problem they're solving, and how to successfully take a product to market. So we've got tried and true strategies to test, build, and launch your startup idea. A lot of the mentors, myself and Christy included, have made heaps of mistakes in startup land, like years and years of mistakes. And we're like happy to share those vulnerable stories of like, you know what, we really stuffed up here. We should have done this better. Shouldn't have invested that amount of money in doing this before we had customers, before we had people who would be willing to put their hand in their pocket and give us money for a solution. So sharing all of that journey, putting your learning into practice. So we're not a program where it's like theory. We're like, here's a bit of theory. Here's how you might test it in your business. And then you test it, come back to us with data and go, here's what happened. I think that confidence to go and practice things in the real world is the best way to learn. Connecting with fellow startup founders on a similar journey. The sense of community in our programs is second to none. Like I've never seen before the supportive nature of everyone going through the same awkwardness at the same time and just lifting each other up, helping each other find potential customers, do customer interviews, check in with each other. I really love that about the program. So yeah, access to our world-class startup mentors. Now, I get gems from these people all the time. Like I'll be listening to them. I'm like, yes, that's what I need right now. They're really incredible humans. I used to get imposter syndrome around them. Now I just sort of hang out and laugh with them, but they're pretty awesome people. And just to boost your confidence, I love watching the personal change of founders. When they come into the program, we have our orientation night at the Sydney Startup Hub and everyone's a bit nervous and doesn't want to talk about their idea. And at the end, like just to be able to stand up and pitch with confidence or articulate with confidence who you are, what you're doing, how you're going to change the world. The confidence stuff is the biggest reward for me. So that's the benefits. What you get access to during the program. So it's an 8-week program. So there's a hybrid orientation night at the Sydney Startup Hub. So we all go down to Sydney Startup Hub and it's this room full of incredible humans and it's so much chatting. We do have hybrids. So if you're based in a regional area and you can't make it to the Sydney Startup Hub, we appreciate that because, you know, we're mums and you're juggling work and there's all sorts of life things that make it so you can't go. But even being a regional founder, I would still go if there is a chance that you can get there, because I think being connected into the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem in Sydney, is a really cool experience. So, but it is hybrid. We appreciate that people can't make it in. So after the orientation night, we're all like getting to know each other. Then we have weekly workshops. So they're on Mondays from 12:30 to 2. And we try and align it with, like, if you were to have a lunch hour or if you're working full time, we try and make it suitable. So within that 1.5 hours, the first half an hour is really me, just chatting about the content, chatting about where you're at. We can have some big group questions, which our mentors will answer. And then we break off into smaller groups. So it'll be a group of 4 or 5 people with one mentor, and you get to talk through your example with the mentor during that 1 hour with them in small groups. We also have small group office hours. So throughout the week, we will have a range of different times, different mentors available that you can pretty much jump on a call, and that's with 4 people, and ask anything. So it doesn't have to be aligned to that week's content. It can be, look, I'm really struggling with this. I've got a barrier here. I don't know how to pitch. I've got a specific problem. So that's those small group office hours. Then we've got lunch and learns, and they are really cool because we bring in subject matter experts to talk about specific things. So it might be that heaps of people in our cohort, like, I need user experience design. And so we'll get a UX designer in to talk through how to build a scope for UX, how to articulate yourself, how to contract, who to contract, where to find a UX designer. or it could be grants. I run a session on grants, but we also bring in an R&D expert to talk about grants. We've got Anna Cheng, who does this awesome growth marketing session where everyone just raves about it. We've got Julie Dempsey, who comes in and does a thing about like, founder wellness and making sure that you're okay in your business, which is, again, another great lunch and learn. So we hold those throughout the program. We've got the e-learning platform. So that has each week's content of learning material. So, and it's made up of videos, there's written, we've got, the write-ups of each of the videos, what's that, like the scripts. We've got activity sheets. And so you do that's self-paced. So you just jump on, watch the content for that week, bring any questions to the workshop or to the office hours, and you sort of do that work yourself. So it's all self-guided. So you can, do as much or as little as you need to in that e-learning platform. So usually like there's heaps at the start, and then someone might go, oh, like I'm an accountant, I don't need to do the financial modeling session, or I've already got my legal set up, I don't need to do that one. But most of the time, everyone learns something from that e-learning platform. Now, you've also got access to that for a year after the program finishes. So lots of people kind of feel a bit overwhelmed halfway through, and they're like, oh, I just haven't watched that video, which is okay because you've got a whole year to watch it. And I've had founders going, yeah, I went back and watched it again and again, and every time I picked out something new, or I just watch it while I was doing the dishes. Like that was my time where I could just, absorb the information. So then we've got a quality network and peer network. So again, there's 50 female founders at a time, all working on different things, but all on the same kind of journey. So you get access to that network to communicate, to chat, to find customers, to anything you want. And we've also got a community platform where you can go in and ask questions of the mentors, of myself as the program lead, of each other. So we really sort of encompass you within that community platform as well. Okay, I might just stop there and, we've got some chat. I'll just answer anything in relation to the program, and then we can come back in and look at the application form with tips and tricks. So let me say, oh, great. Everyone's just saying hi. So if anyone has any questions at the moment about the program or anything that I've spoken about so far, please put it in the chat or come off mute and say hi and ask the question about the program. And don't be shy, please don't be shy. There's no silly questions at Tech Ready Women, none.
Not so much a question, but I'll say something just to help you out.
Thanks for making my life less awkward, Debbie.
Yeah. I'm Monique, and I've came up with a startup idea about a year ago, and I've paid for app prototypes. Next week, I finish my Certificate 3 in Business and Entrepreneurship at TAFE. I've onboarded a web designer. I've done trademarking, copywriting, all by myself. And everything you said really resonates with me, because I only did the TAFE course, not because I needed the information, excuse me, but I needed to know I was on the right path. I just needed that confirmation because I'm doing it blind. And yeah, I've made a few mistakes. But if I can avoid that, it'd be wonderful,
Yeah. Look, I agree. And when I first started being an entrepreneur, and like I started building tech products probably in the early 2000s, so a really long time ago. And I'm like, surely someone has done this before and can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because I wasted so much money and so much time trying to build things that never got to market. I mean, some of them did get to market, some of them didn't. And so when I saw the Tech Ready Women program, I was like, Christy has nailed this, because if we could only just share these lessons beforehand, and they're real, which is what I like as well. It's not theory. It's like, oh, such and such had this happen, and avoid this, and so yeah, it's really important to me to be able to share knowledge. And even if it's just something that's going to save you some money, or, in your head, I know exactly what I'm doing now. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, and if I learn something the hard way, I'm the first one to pass it on to someone else and go, don't do that, do it this way. Like, it's good because even though it costs you time and money, you can save someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pain, like anyway, I'll tell you stories if you're part of the program because there's lots of painful stories. Tula, I see in there you have a question. You founded your company in 2018. Is this relevant to me? And I'm going to say yes, if you would like clarity on how to take a solution to market. If you would like support, education, mentors, we have had businesses that have been around for a while, and they're like, look, I'm getting some sales, I'm doing some stuff right, but I just need to unlock it to be able to scale it. So that happens often. So yeah, definitely. It's not really how long you've been around, it's what stage you're at. Does anyone else have any questions? Yes, scaling. Yeah. Definitely some lessons in scaling. Okay, well, I will continue on to some application tips. Now, if you do have anything, please jump in the meeting chat because I'll just keep that open over there. Okay. All right, so we've got some of the questions here, and I'll just talk through what we're looking for. So in 100 words or less, who are your first target customers? Now, what we're looking for here is that you understand the type of people that you would like to sell to first. Now, some people say, well, I'm selling to everyone because everyone needs this solution. And what my response is if you're putting stuff out to everyone, you're probably not attracting anyone. And so to really be able to define exactly who that target market is and understand them is really important. And so we're not really assessing, oh, they've got this kind of target customer. We would prefer not to do that or that one. It's more like, how well do you understand who those first target customers are? Now, I've worked in startups, and I'm working in one at the moment, and we're doing a solution for wool growers. And I'm like, so our first target customers are wool growers. And then I was in a meeting a couple of months ago, and they're like, okay, so define that more. And I'm like, well, it's merino sheep, merino wool growers. And they're like, okay, define that more. And we actually have to get at the ones that are breeding the really fine micron wool growers. And they're like, okay, define that even more. And it's like, okay, the really fine micron merino sheep growers in New South Wales and Victoria, they're like, right, that's your first customers. So because that is, we can then make decisions on where are we going to test, who are we talking to. And so so this is just to try and get out of you who are the very first people you're going to reach out to as those target customers. And again, just trying to get that, how well you understand that, not necessarily who they are. So the next question is, in 100 words or less, what is the problem you are solving? Now, as entrepreneurs, we love to talk about our solution. We love telling you all the features and functions and everything that we're doing in terms of a solution. But what this question is saying is, what is the problem that you are solving? So it's almost like a step back from the solution. And the reason we ask this is because during the program or during your life as an entrepreneur, the solution might actually change a little bit. There's something called pivoting when we get so far down and we're like, oh, that's actually not going to work for those customers. We might have to pivot that solution and turn it into something else that's going to meet the needs of these customers. And so we always go back to this problem piece. So again, it doesn't really matter what the problem is, only that you understand the problem that you're solving. So when we look at those ideal first customers, and then we're looking at what problem do they have that you would like to solve. And so, we can talk more about examples in the Q&A, but we're just trying to know that you understand the problem that you're solving. So the next question we ask is, in 100 words or less. And the reason it's 100 words or less is because we don't want really long answers. We want you to be able to succinctly say it, because I can tell you, I think last cohort, we assessed like 175 applications. So if they're like paragraph after paragraph for each one, we just get super tired. And it's like, if they could just clearly articulate it. So 100 words or less is just to give us an idea that you know the problem, the solution. So this one is, what is the solution or idea to solve this problem? And again, we're not trying to assess like, is this going to work or not? It's like, are you able to articulate that solution to solve that problem for those customers? Now, we are looking for, if there's an obvious solution out there, and there is a question around competitors now, but it's like, if I were to say that I am, I'm creating technology where friends can friend each other and share photos. And we're like, have you seen Instagram? Like, we're trying to get that level of solution from you that it is something a little bit different. And also it's something that is potentially scalable. And so Tech Ready Women is here to help female founders build scalable solutions through either innovation, digital adoption, or technology. So if it is, I would like to offer my services as a physio and have my own physio shop in a local area, then that's not a scalable solution and doesn't fit within our guidelines. That's a, time for money business proposition, which isn't scalable. Now, if that same physio said, look, I'm a physio, but I want to take my services digitally to be able to scale them to more people, because there's a certain area of expertise that I have that I would like to offer. And I'm going to use digital things to help me through that, then we would look at the application. Having said that, we're very open to physical products as well. And in our last cohort, we had a lady who's using recycled plastic to build dog leads that had a built-in poop bag, and she was selling those on an online e-commerce marketplace. So because that was an innovation, and because she was using digital enhancements to scale that fits within the criteria of Tech Ready Women. Okay. And the next question we have, in 100 words or less, how is your idea different to other solutions on the market? And this is just to get rid of like the really obvious, there's some big solutions out there that the problems are already being solved for the customers. So this is like, how are you different? So if you are doing an online marketplace where you can friend people and share photos, how is that different to Instagram or Facebook or all of the things that are out there? So if it's similar, call out, here's a competitor, but here is how I'm unique. Here is how I am different to those other solutions on the market. Now, chances are, and we all like to think our solution is very unique, but chances are there are ways that people are solving this problem now. And if you call it out and say, yeah, I know people are solving this problem now, but this part isn't working for them, and this is the bit that I want to solve, we're more likely to see that favorably, going, oh yeah, so they understand that there's a competitor, but here's how they're doing it differently. Yeah, that makes sense to us. And the score will be higher than going, yeah, no, there's no competitors. So have a Google around, see what's out there, see how other people are solving the problem that you've identified. Okay, in 100 words, this is a big application. Oh no, 200 words or less. What does ultimate success look like for this business? Now, this is a bit of fun, and this is like, what is the aspirational identity that you have in this business? And I love this bit, because this is the reason I go into business, is to be top of the mountain success. This is what I'm hoping for. And so for you, it might be to work 4 days a week. It might be to solve world hunger. It might be to become a millionaire, and it might be to have a global business. It really is open to what you want, what your aspirational identity is within this business. What's the ultimate look like? And I guess that what we're trying to see there is, what's your long-term goals and how might Tech Ready Women help you in that process? Okay, in 100 words or less, detail why you're the best person to solve this problem. Now, this is the bit, I also stalk people's LinkedIns because we do ask for that. So what we're trying to see here is that you've got some connection to the problem that you're solving. So I was having a laugh the other day that there's apparently a startup, and I shouldn't laugh, but there's a startup of young men who are solving issues for menopausal women. And it's like, why? So it's really hard to understand the story. What, like, was it something about that one of their moms? Like, but without the context, you're like, how do those people know the problem and why are they the best people to solve it? So this is just trying to connect you. So whether you've worked in the industry, whether you've got a really great story about why you're so passionate about it, it's just, why you're the best person to solve the problem. And so the reason I stalk people's LinkedIns when you put them in there is that I'm just trying to see, is there any further connection? Like, have you volunteered for something? Have you worked in a business that supports this? Like if you're doing something in real estate, have you worked for a real estate? Like it's really important that we find that connection. Now, if it's not obvious on your LinkedIn, or a website, then just tell us the story, because that's all we want to know is what's the, and it can be passion, or it can be education, or it can be experience, or it can be anything. It's just that we understand that. Okay, in 100 words or less, how do you believe this program can help you? And this is just to see if you're in it for the right reasons. We've had some really interesting responses for this one, and what we'd like to know is that you're willing to learn, that you're open to new ideas, that you would like the help to take your business to the next level. You want to listen to mentors, that it's just that, I guess, growth mindset. And we don't always sort of get that in the answers. That's just really in your own words, how do you think Tech Ready Women can help you on this journey? I love our testimonials. Here are just 3. And I had the pleasure of Susan McKendry was in my cohort, and just an amazing human. And I would always see her beaming, smiling face every time I would present, and she's smiling and looking at me like this. And it was during one program, and we got out of it at the end, and she goes, "It just felt like you were just talking to me." And I'm like, yes, because you were the beaming, smiling face coming back at me. I kept looking at your face, so I was just talking to you. But yeah, she's building an incredible tech product to help young people with learning difficulties learn better. And really, really great human. So you would have seen on any of our social media the testimonials and the amazing feedback that we get from our participants. If not, jump onto our socials and have a look, because I like to interview our participants and see where they're at, and post-program and 6 months post-program, and the stories just give me goosebumps of what women can achieve when they've got confidence, and then when they've got the tools and the support networks to support them. So they're not fake testimonials. They're absolutely heartfelt, real testimonials. So is there any questions on those questions that I went through? And I'm happy to flick back if anyone would like to look at those again.
It's Monique here. I applied in June and didn't get through, and I've got a copy of my application. I've already applied again, but this time I didn't get a copy of the application. So
interesting.
I'm not sure if I've answered anything differently or
no, that might just be something that's happened with our automations, but that's really good. I will let the team know that that's not working, that you didn't receive receive a copy of the application. Thanks for sharing, Monique.
That's all right. If you need my email or anything should have gone to, I can drop it in the chat or whatever you need.
And I've seen your application, so I know we've got it.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, I'm happy to, I'll go off and we can just do a general Q&A. Stop share. Okay, Tula, thank you so much for today. I'm so happy to be part of, yes, Tula, you're part of the Female Founder Connect community. We love you there. We'll see you next time. All right. Did anyone else have any questions about the application process or anything I can help with?
No, I can't think of any at the moment. I think you've just about covered it all.
Well,
yeah, for me.
Nailed it.
So, you
And
did, you know.
Thanks so much for jumping on, Michelle. I really appreciate that you stepped outside of your comfort zone today. Sarah or Sunny or iPhone 7, do you have any questions? Or if you'd like to put anything in the chat, I'm happy to answer anything. Just wait to see if anyone's madly typing. There we go. Will this recording be made available to rewatch? Yes, it will. I think send an email through to community@techreadywomen.com and you can ask for a copy of the recording.
Oh, I did have one question. After the application process, after the application process, how long will it take to hear back from you ladies?
Yeah, I believe it's mid-January.
Okay.
And so we go through a process where we do the assessments, and because the scholarships are funded by the New South Wales government, we just get sign off from the cohort. So the approval notices will go out mid-January then.
Okay. Oh, great.
And then, yeah, the program starts, gosh, I think it's the 5th of February.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. So you've got a bit of time to sort of get yourself organised.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Well, that's it for me then.
Right. Anyone else? And look, if you have any particular questions or you're worried about anything, please just feel free to reach out to Diana on community@techreadywomen.com. Yeah, we're happy to answer if you have any concerns. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing your application.
Okay. Thank you very much for today. You were great. You really presented really well. I thought you come across really clearly. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. And this is what you get. You just get a natural me. When you're part of the program, you just get me.
Right. I think this is the awkward part where do I leave or do you?
You can leave. Thanks, Monique. I love enthusiasm. I'm enthusiastic. I love, honestly, I'm just so passionate about seeing female founders succeed. That is my one desire in life, like literally just.
Thank you so much for the program.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. When do you guys do the interviews? Also, we don't actually interview. Sunny, we don't interview. It's literally we use the applications. We might ring up if there's something we don't understand. And I've done that before. It's like something that I'm not quite getting. I'll just ring someone up and just have a chat about it. It's really informal. So it is yeah, there's no interviews. It's pretty much the application, and then we'll just send out the offers. Thank you, Sarah. I'm here. One cat was earlier. Sorry, Missy. I hope they didn't press any buttons on the computer, Sarah. Hopefully I'll get to see them during the program. Okay.
All right. Thank you. I hope to see you again. Take care, Monique.
Thanks, Monique.
Bye.
Everyone. Okay. Bye.